You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, we're rolling. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. My name is Nicolaou. Today in the chair with the barber, I've got my sister Fodoulla. The guest I was meant to have didn't materialise, so I've called for backup. And as you can see, we're not in the barbershop today. We're in Fod's Salon. Fod, tell them a little bit about you.
Okay, so hey everyone, I'm Ban's older sister. This is my salon. I do eyelash extensions. I've been doing it for 11 years, had my own business, just doing eyelashes for 11 years. It's gone pretty well, I think, for 11 years. And I only had the salon 5 years yesterday, actually.
Okay.
In the salon. I used to work from my bedroom. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So, when I was thinking about how she used to work from her room, I remembered that it wasn't very professional because one time, we are going back nearly 10 years, so yeah, 9 years it was.
I must have just started out, well, a couple of years in then.
Yeah, 9 years ago, it was 2010. It was afternoon, I was 20 years old, and I got a knock on my door at like 2 in the afternoon from Fod while she's working in her room, and she had a client, and the police were looking for me downstairs. So
what did I say? Didn't I close the door? And I was like, but I had the...
No, it wasn't. It was more like, Ban, wake up. There's 2 police downstairs and they're looking for you. Should I tell them that you're in?
Didn't I say it in Greek though?
No.
Did I close the door on them? I must have, because I wouldn't have...
No, you didn't, because...
Didn't I say to them 1 minute and close the door?
Because when I went downstairs, they were having a laugh on the sofa in the living room.
Oh, I don't remember that bit.
There was just them 2 there. So she was like, should I tell them that you're in? I was like, yeah, of course you can tell them that I'm in, because if you don't, they'll just come back another time. So, yeah, that was the professionalism of working from your bedroom.
Had to explain to my client why there was police at the door.
Oh, was that awkward?
Probably not, like...
Do you remember what client it was?
No, but I just remember, like, to be fair, that's the good thing about the job, like, it's always banter. So this one time, I think this one was worse. It was actually when I was in the salon, probably only a few months after being in the salon. It was a brand new client, and she's having her eyelashes done, so your eyes are completely closed. You know, there's glue, there's tweezers, there's all this. Laz, our youngest brother...
How
so
old
we're going back 4.5 years probably. So what?
He was what, 13?
Yeah, so he would have been 13.
Oh god.
Maybe just turned 14 because it was summer. So anyway, I'm there minding my own business, chatting away to this new client. We're having really good conversation, and Laz hasn't gone to school that day. Next thing I know, he's ran to the salon door, and he's come in and he's gone, Fod, I've set the garden on fire. I've looked at him like, what? I'm thinking, what have you done?
Oh
Thinking, nah. And he's gone, no, Fod, I've set the garden on fire. So I've gone to my client, just 1 minute, threw everything on my hand. I've still got glue stains on my floor. My tweezers went on the floor. Everything went on the floor. And I left this poor client, like, what an idiot. I left this client...
Yeah, the garden was on fire.
Yeah, but I didn't know. But imagine if the actual house was on fire and I'd left my client in the salon.
Yeah,
like with her eyes closed.
You surely would have came and got her out.
Yeah, I know, but her eyes were closed, I just left her. The woman, obviously clever enough, like ripped them off, like ripped the pads off her eyes, ran after me in the house as well.
Okay. Luckily,
Laz had closed the patio door. He'd actually set the garden on fire. The patio was in flames. Now,
well done, Laz.
Fair play, Laz. If he'd left the door open, the curtains would have gone up, everything would have gone up. I couldn't see the garden.
He accidentally set the watering can on fire.
Bear in mind,
not the watering can, the petrol can.
No, what did he have on as well? The little heater?
It was the outside fire in 25 degrees weather. Bear that in mind.
Fair play, Laz.
Well
it was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. So yeah, working from home is not always...
Yeah, what it's cracked up to be.
Mm.
So, did you get offered to teach eyelash extensions?
No, there's always courses about, like, you know, obviously available and stuff. But I've never really wanted to, but I've had clients and friends, like clients who've become friends, people that I've met along the way, that have asked me if I'll teach them.
Right.
But because I'm not qualified to teach, I won't do it.
Okay.
It's something that I've thought about, but to be honest, it's something that I'm actually thinking of coming out of.
Okay.
Because 11 years is a long time, and I feel like I might want to change direction a little bit, because eyelashes was never sort of the plan forever.
Right.
I didn't ever have a plan, to be honest. It was
Okay.
just, I like it, I'm going to do it, see what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was never, I want it to be forever, and I physically can't have it to be forever just because it has its impact on my sort of health and stuff. But teaching, I don't think was ever really for me. I think it's a lot of
Okay.
responsibility. So yeah, I don't think that's a road I'm going to go down.
So you mentor kids as well?
Yeah, gosh, that's been nearly 10 years now.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that's it's volunteer work with kids in care. So it started out once a week, actually. We'd get set up with a young person. The youngest I've ever mentored is 10, but most of them have been around 13, 14. And I usually stick with them for a few years. That's how it works, unless their circumstance changes and they have to move or...
So it's one kid at a time?
I've had two,
Okay.
if they've been in the same area, so it's easy because I obviously have to travel. But yeah, it used to be once a week, and they just sort of ask us to take them out for a day, like not even a day really, like a few hours.
Right.
And it would be like take them to get some food, maybe the cinema, to the park, just something, hang out with them, spend
Right.
some time with them, listen to their problems if they want to share them with you. But just basically to have somebody there that they can open up to that isn't paid to be there.
How often do they open up?
They're all very different.
Right.
So I've had one girl who was the first girl that I mentored for a long period. I ended up mentoring her for just under 4 years. So they do the initial meeting. My sort of supervisors, if you like to call them, will take me out, meet this kid with either her foster carers or his foster carers, or at the care home, depending where they are. They introduce us, we have a little chat, and we sort of set a bit of a plan of what we're going to do over the next few weeks or months, and if they've got anything they want to work on. So if it's self-confidence, if it's they need help with certain homework, or just anything that they might need from you, like that's what we'll discuss. So this one girl, I'll never ever forget our first ever one-on-one meeting. She wanted to go to a park. It was a horrible autumn day. It was really cold, rainy, it was horrid, and she wanted to go to the park down the road from her house. So her foster carers were happy with that. So I was like, okay. And I was quite nervous because this is going back when I first, it was only maybe not even a year into me starting.
Right.
So she was like my first consistent, she was going to be my first consistent kid. So we go to the park and we're just having a bit of general chat. Like she was funny, she was quite open.
How old?
She was 14.
Okay.
Cheeky.
Right.
Thought she was a bit of a badass, like they have that attitude, which is fine. And, I was a lot younger at the time as well. I was only 23. So now I was 24. So what did she say to me? I can't even remember how the conversation got to it, but it went from a completely normal conversation, banter, just funny, to her telling me about being abused.
Oh shit.
And that's why she was in care, but I didn't actually even ask her the question.
Oh right.
She very openly told me everything.
Yeah.
From abuse to who did it, to where it was, to how it's got her in that many different foster placements or care homes, and then also things as this is one meeting now in the space of an hour of me first meeting her one-on-one.
Yeah.
She told me about self-harming. She told me everything.
Wow.
So I left there very shocked because we have training and we do safeguarding and all those things, but I I wasn't prepared for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
that's being thrown in the deep end.
yeah, and that was just, I didn't know how to respond.
Right.
And it was yeah, it took me back, like made me sort of step back and be like, whoa,
Yeah.
this happens probably way more than we have a clue.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just made me even more determined to stick that out, though, because she had a lot of anger issues. She had a lot of it was as though she could speak down to everyone and be angry at everyone and anyone who crossed her path, and it didn't matter because of what she'd been through.
Right.
So everyone else was to blame.
She felt like she had an excuse.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the power of, at the time, I used to see her once a week.
Right.
And the power of that was amazing because she was on school report. She was really naughty. Like,
right.
She couldn't stand her foster carers at all.
Okay.
She was hard work. She was great with me.
Yeah.
That she tried to kick off on me once, and that was our second meeting.
Right.
I shut her down. Like, she proper went to kick off on me.
Oh, okay.
I shut her down, put her in a place, and she never, in 4 years, never switched on me ever. And she was like my little best friend sort of thing at the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was on school report, and I'll never forget, we were probably 5 weeks in, so seeing her every week for 2 hours, and she got in the car this one day and she's like, guess what? And she was really happy, and I was like, what? Like, it wasn't very often you'd see her really
excited,
smiling.
Yeah.
She goes, I've had a really good report. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, what have they said? She goes, here you go, you can read it. And I was like, oh, thanks. So it was only a few teachers knew about her situation and the severity of it, and only a couple of them knew she was being mentored. They knew it was a new thing they were trying out with her to see how it would be. And they had written a report to say her behaviour has changed drastically towards the teachers and pupils, and they believe it's down to me.
Wow.
And I was like, but I got it, because she had such a bad attitude, and she would tell me the things she'd say to the other kids and the other teachers and even her taxi driver. And I was like, dude, you can't talk to people like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really sorry for what you've been through.
Yeah.
And they don't know what you've been through.
Yeah.
It's not fair for you to speak to people like that. It's not okay.
Yeah.
And we'd have deep conversations about how to just be, how to
carry yourself.
Yeah, and not, not everybody needs to know your story either.
Yeah.
Not everybody needs to know those deep, dark secrets.
Yeah.
And you need to be careful who you choose to tell it to, because kids are nasty.
Yeah.
She had so many rumours spread about her. She had boys coming up to her saying, will you have sex with me because I know you've done it before?
Oh, shit.
And that's horrific.
Yeah.
Like, really horrific.
Yeah,
and
14 as
like,
well.
it would really upset me when she'd tell me these things, but we got away around it, just having like open and honest conversation. And that was really, really like important for me as well, to see in such a short space of time, this mentoring thing works.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's probably another reason why I've wanted to stick it out, because the power of listening to somebody, the power of being consistent in somebody's life is something we really all probably take for granted. And like I said, we've had a great upbringing. Like, we've got really good parents, we've got each other, like, we've got a huge family, a lot of good friends and support. And again, I think, even the fact being raised like with a faith background, we are very grateful. And for me to be able to give back to somebody who's not as fortunate as us, that is a massive thing. And to know that you can just change their outlook on things just by listening. I didn't do anything special. I spent time with her. And that's all they need, because they know you're not a social worker. You're not paid to be there. You want to be there. I find
that as that's something in the barbershop as well, that especially, well, I'd say for younger kids, but it's not really, it's for everybody.
For everyone.
When people turn up and there's a lot of barbers that don't give a shit. There's a lot of barbers that will just cut your hair, take your money and be out the door. 5-10 minute job, see you later.
Rush you out.
And people realised in my barbershop that that's not the case with me, and people do open up. I've heard so many stories, but when people realise that you give a shit, they find comfort in being around you. And we do take for granted how much support means, how much listening means. And listening's like an easy skill. All you have to do is just take yourself out of the equation.
Exactly.
It ain't about you. And you just give them all the attention for that. If it's 10 minutes, if it's 2 hours, in my case in the barber shop, it might be 20, 30 minutes, but you're getting all my attention for that time.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you want, and
it's a safe space, isn't it?
Yeah, and also the fact that I'm not going to judge you. Do you know what I mean? And once you leave the shop, I'm seeing somebody else, so I'm not holding that in.
Yeah. For us, we can feel for that person, and you can take on their like stress in a sense when you're with them.
Yeah.
But when they've gone, you've got other people to see. You've got other stories that you hear, and it's not like you're carrying their burden. But when you're with them, you're supporting them.
Yeah.
And I know with my clients, like they're with me for at least an hour.
Yeah.
So I've heard over the last 11 years stories that I say to my clients, you could write a book for the things that they've been through. And I feel like a therapist, but I don't mind that, because I feel like it's a privilege that they even feel like coming to me and feeling that they trust me enough to tell me these things, because they're big.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff's big, and often I'll get a text message later on that day or later on that week, and thank you so much for listening, thank you so much for what you said to me, that really helped. And one thing I always say to my clients, like, if they're going through anything, I don't have maybe a lot of life experience. I'm single. I've not really done a lot, I don't think, maybe. But, I've never been married. I've never been divorced. So hearing people speak about things like that, there's only certain things you can say. Like, you can potentially say what you think you would do.
Yeah.
Or how you would act, but you don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always say that. But something I always say to my clients, and I say it to the kids that I mentor, because people are very much... they're thrown when you say this to them. Do you know what? Don't really know what to say about that, but I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
And like, people are like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have one client, and she'll always say to me, that's your God, that's helped me. I was like, he's not my God, he's our God. Like, he's our God. But again, the power of just listening, and I can have conversations with clients where they're not even conversations. It's, are you all right, Fod? Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you? And then it's an hour about what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's crazy sometimes.
And I don't mind. I think it's... I feel privileged that they feel like they can talk to me about their things.
Sometimes people sit in the barber chair, and literally as soon as they sit down, sometimes it's got to a point where they haven't even sat down in the chair and they start.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this person needs me today.
Yeah, they need to tell me whatever it is they're feeling.
Because sometimes with it, and going back to the mentoring, which is probably even more important because they are kids, and
they've got no one.
Yeah, and
they don't all have good foster carers.
And kids being at that age, you feel vulnerable because it's a scary world out there.
Yeah.
And when you're young and you're naive, you're aware that you're young and naive, and any support. I mean, if we need it as adults, we all need it. I mean, I don't feel like I need it as much because I'm an adult. I've got my head screwed on. I've got good people around me.
But that's why, because you've got good people around you as well.
Yeah. But also, I've got a lot of inner self-confidence that I don't...
But that's took time.
Yeah, it has took time.
That's took time, and you're nearly 30, so that's took a lot of time. Whereas these kids at 14.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was, even though I'm at this stage and I have the confidence I've got, I still need support from time to time.
Of course.
Let alone a kid half our age.
Yeah.
Who
has had no one.
They've been abused and that kind of stuff.
They've been neglected,
Yeah. People don't understand the severity of and the importance of support. And there's been times when people have sat in the barber chair and they've said to me, I don't know how you can listen to people's shit all day. Like, I couldn't do that. And it's like, yeah, what? You ain't me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of people that are so stuck within themselves, they can't grasp hearing anybody else's problems. And to be honest, if I know in 20 minutes I can give you a bit of advice, or I can give you a bit of a spring in your step when you leave the door.
Yeah, exactly. Even just put a smile on their face.
Yeah. I might not be able to solve your problems. Like,
No,
I've had not too long ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I had one of my regular customers who's in his maybe in his like early 60s, told me that a lot of years ago his son had died. His son was only young, and he'd been killed in a car accident. And what do I say to that? You know, I've never had kids. I can't even grasp how that must feel. But just listening and giving them some supportive words.
Yeah. All it takes is a kind word. And I think that's what a lot of people forget. You don't have to have someone's answers.
Yeah.
You don't have to have, like, you don't need to fix someone. Yeah, like, we're not here to fix someone. Like, realistically, we are all here to fix ourselves. Like, we have to work on ourselves. We can't do anything for somebody else if we're not sorted within, I think. But I also think, like, just a kind word goes a long way. A listening ear goes a long way for somebody, because you might be the only person that they see that day, or that actually listens to them that day. And that's not just talking about the kids, that's talking about everyone and anyone you meet. Like, I always, like, you know this because, like, I think you're the same. I've grown up being told I'm a screw face. Grown up like, oh, just smile. And it's like, I'm not sad. I just don't walk around the street with a big smile on my face, but I'm never ever sad. And I've tried the last couple of years, like, within, like, sort of doing a little bit of network marketing, like the personal development and stuff. It's been like there all over it, like, smile more. You will be amazed. And I try, like, when I go out now, just to smile, like, to actually look people in the eye and smile.
I try
and keep my phone away, look at people and just smile, because some people won't smile back. Some people will say hi, some people won't. But do you know what? You might actually really be doing somebody a favour by just being a smiley face for them. And it's just little things that we don't do, that we should do, that we don't think about.
I've said it for years, just if you just try to give a shit, just give a little bit of a shit about other people, you could literally save somebody's life. There was a guy, I think I told you this a while ago, he come in the shop, and I could just sense this guy was going through some shit. I could just sense it. And he sat down.
Had you ever met him before?
Never. And he sat down, and I could just see that there was a problem. He didn't tell me what the problem was. I kind of gauged what it was through asking him certain questions, and I'd get certain answers. I wouldn't pursue it. Because
you know when to not.
Because obviously he can tell me whatever he wants, but if he doesn't want to tell me, I'm not gonna force it into him. But he that day frightened the hell out of me, because I thought this guy looked like he was absolutely on the edge. When I tell you on the edge, I'm talking suicide on the edge. And I gave him the amount of the best advice and support I could give him, being in the situation that I was in, not really knowing him, and only knowing what he's told me, and assuming a few things. And as he was leaving, I just said to him, like, if you ever need to talk, you don't need a haircut. If you ever need to talk, the door's open. And he couldn't stop thanking me. I've never seen the guy since, and I hope he's all right. But I knew that day he just got some things off his chest that he probably couldn't speak to anybody else about.
He probably just really needed to hear that. Like, do you know what, dude? I don't know you. You don't need a haircut to come in here, but come in, have a conversation.
It's just about giving a shit. Because there's a time and a place when your life is about you, and there's times and places when it's not. and you have to know the difference between them, and then deal with that accordingly. So especially when you're around kids, guys, I think don't give kids too much aggro. Don't tell them no negative words, because it fucking eats away at people.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of messed up adults, isn't there? Because you know, the older generation potentially, they maybe weren't too nice.
Yeah,
you know, to get strict, and I don't know.
I don't think they were as aware of the consequences as we are.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's sad, isn't it? But I just think I think all of us just need to maybe take it upon ourselves to think, if we see somebody that, like, you realise that man looked like he was struggling, like if you see somebody or notice somebody on social media, like quotes and stuff, you know, we were saying this, weren't we? You know, if you see somebody posting maybe certain quotes quite often, not all the time, but I think sometimes it can maybe highlight that there's that particular issue going on. Maybe just drop them a message and be like, dude, are you alright? Like, are you okay? Do you want to talk about anything? Like, I'm here if you need anything, because it's an easy way to do it now, isn't it? Just posting in directs on social media.
An indirect quote.
But then when somebody asks you, you don't want to tell them. But like, sometimes people are crying out for help through that. Yeah.
And a lot of time we just see, oh, it's another quote, and we keep going. But realistically, would you post a quote if it didn't have any relevance to you? You wouldn't. So for them to post it, there's something there. And I remember quite a while ago, one of my regulars, he posted a quote about men's mental health and suicide, and I was like, oh shit. So I messaged him, and I basically asked him if he was all right and if he wanted to talk about anything. And he didn't, and he was okay, luckily, but he knew other people that were affected by it.
Yeah.
And he posted it on their behalf, but he was so grateful that
you reached out.
That I reached out. And what was interesting was, weeks later, maybe even a month later, he had screenshotted it. I didn't know. He'd screenshotted it, and he'd put it on his as an Instagram post that I'd messaged him and what I'd messaged him. And the reason I say it's interesting is because all these weeks later, I completely forgot that I'd had that conversation with him, but he never forgot.
Yeah, it's the little things that might be absolutely so small to us.
Yeah.
Like, just, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Takes nothing.
Yeah.
Like, how long does it take to write a message, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
You know, to somebody actually remembering that. To actually somebody remembering that.
Yeah.
So, I think it's quite powerful, like, just to reach out when you can. Maybe put a smile on someone's face, or just let them know they're being thought about.
Do you feel like you'd go into full-time therapy?
As in to be a therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about counselling. Yeah, I've thought about counselling. I might look into it next year. It's interested me for a long time.
Right.
Because, like, for me, I'm getting a bit older, and I just think as well, like, a change in career paths isn't a bad idea. But I also think I want to do something more meaningful.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying what I do now isn't meaningful, because it does have a really positive effect on, you know, somebody's self-confidence, and again, just like the conversations we have. And I feel like I've made a lot of friends through it, and people that I really want to see do well.
Yeah.
But the beauty industry is a bitchy one. And I struggle with I'm not about the drama. Like, I'm just really not into that. And that's why I'd quite like to you know, probably look at taking a step back. And it does, you know, the whole eyelash thing, it has a bit of an impact on my health anyway. I struggle with the glue. I'm allergic to the glue, so I get a lot of sinus infections and migraines, and it just makes me feel a bit crap, really. But going back to the counselling, I think that's it's something on a, like, spiritual level for me. I think being able to, like, have a career where you're doing something for the heart instead of for, like, someone's appearance. Right. Even though there's the positives on the inside still. Yeah. Like, it's working mentally with somebody, I think is really powerful. I think it's very needed nowadays, and I don't know where I want to go with it. I mean, I've thought about it and I've kept thinking about it. The mentoring has really sort of like swayed me as well, because we've had, I've had a lot of positive, thankfully, a lot of positive young people who've come out of this and are doing well, and they're happy, and they're not in that vicious circle.
Yeah.
So I think, again, it just goes back to listening and offering a safe space for somebody. And if you can do that as a career, then why not? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Go and learn something. I never went to uni. I never did anything like that. So, it's I'll be 34 next year. If I get into that and go to uni and study for a couple of years, I think, why not?
Yeah, I mean, as Gary Vee says, we're young as fuck, so...
Yeah. And the end of the day, like I said, eyelashes was never a long-term plan anyway. There was no plan, to be honest, but I wanted to do beauty from a young age, but I feel like I'm just at that age, I want to do something a bit more meaningful.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the minute I need to look into it a little bit more, but I feel like counselling would be that direction to go down.
You need work
path.
satisfaction.
Yeah, and you know what? I do love my job. I do. I've had a few stresses this past year with it, but I mean, on the whole, like, I'm at work, I'm happy. I'm not unhappy.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, I just feel like I need something more. And I think that's where once you start feeling like that, you need to look into that.
Yeah,
because,
for sure.
I want to do what I do and love it, and I do, but I also want to really feel like I'm making an impact.
Right.
And yeah, it's nice to get your eyelashes done. It's nice to like look nice, but like, let's be honest, I want to work at like someone's heart and mental state and help with that if I can.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, that could potentially be me in the next couple of years, God willing.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. Moving on to change the
dynamics.
Change the vibe a little bit. So the last time some of you guys may have seen me, I was on the Korean Chicken and Pasta Bake podcast with Jordan and Mitz. And one of the things that was brought up was about guys cheating. Have you seen the episode yet?
No, I haven't had a chance yet. Because you told me I have to watch it.
Yeah.
I was going to listen to it in the car, like on the Bluetooth, but he said I have to watch it.
Yeah, okay.
So I haven't had the hour to watch it, but I will.
Right.
I promise.
So, it came up about guys cheating, and they asked me if I've ever cheated, and I said no, which I haven't. And then Jordan asked me to give the guys watching some advice. If they have cheated or they are cheating. And what I said, I stand by. What I said was that I can't really give anybody advice about it because guys know, and not just guys, but also girls, whoever's cheating, people know that it's wrong. Any words of advice I could give you isn't really going to do that much because you know it's wrong regardless. So if you want to do it, you're going to do it anyway. And I said that one of the things I do is I lead my life through my morals and my self-respect and my self-discipline. But when I was driving home, I thought about it a bit more, and I realized that we're not as strong as we think we are. So everybody feels like they're in control all the time. And you're not actually as in control as you think you are. So, one of the things I'd say, because then I figured I do actually have some advice. Before I give my advice, what would your advice be?
On what? Like, what are you asking me?
People cheating, how to avoid it.
The person cheating, how to avoid it?
Yeah.
Don't be in a relationship. Like, simple. I just don't understand, guy or girl, you're with your man, you're with your girl, things are going all right, why would you cheat? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, have a conversation. Like, people don't know how to have conversations.
Yeah.
This is the problem. People don't know how to communicate.
Right.
There is so much, like, let's be honest about, like, there's a lot of text messaging. Everything gets read wrong on a text message.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone or
Yeah.
meet your girl or your man and have a conversation like, babe, what's up? Why are you being like this? Is there something I've done wrong? Can I put it right? Drop your ego, for starters, guy or girl. Drop your ego, because if you care about this person, even if you're not in love with them, if you care about this person, you're with them because you care about them, yeah? Just drop the ego and have a conversation for starters. If you're not happy and you feel like, oh, I'm getting attention from him, do you know what? My man's not paying me any attention. I'm gonna give him some attention then. Why do you need to be in a relationship? Finish it and go and do your thing.
Yeah.
No one can be mad at you if you've broken up with somebody and done it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know it's a bit deeper when we're going into marriages and stuff, but I'm talking as a boyfriend, girlfriend, like, you're not married yet sort of thing. And I think I couldn't forgive it. For me,
Oh yeah.
I could not forgive it. If I had 10 kids and I was married to the man and I found out he cheated, I physically would not be able to look at him.
Yeah, but does it
Like-
matter if you've got kids or not?
Yeah. Do you know how many women say to me they stayed because they've got kids?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I've heard
course.
that.
And I just know, I know I would make his life a misery. I tolerate a lot. It takes a lot to really annoy me.
Yeah.
But if that ever happened to me, whether we were boyfriend, girlfriend, 3 months in, 6 months in, 10 years in, whatever, married or not, kids or not, I would not be able to look at him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why would I want to be with somebody and make his life a misery? I wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, why be with somebody if you're going to throw it in their face all the time after they've cheated? Because let's be honest, they deserve that. But it's just toxic. You don't need that. You do not need that. And men, like, I watched a program last night with our cousin, and it was, what's it called? Dinner with My Ex or something. I don't know if you've seen the advert. I was like, wow. And this guy, he's gone. One of the questions she asked him was, did you ever cheat? And he's looked at her and he's been horrible to her the whole time. I don't know, I missed how long they'd been split up, but it's like usually after a couple of years and they meet up. It's dead weird. And she's asked him if he cheated.
Yeah.
And he's gone to her, yeah. And she's like, well, how many times? And he's like, oh, I don't know, once or twice. Well, she goes, what was it, once or twice?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't know, maybe once, I don't know, maybe twice. And she's gone, so let's say twice. And he was like, no, don't put words in my mouth. And he's been so rude. And then he said, she's like, why did you cheat? And he's like, because you're crazy. And she's like, oh, so you cheated on me because I'm crazy. And that's something that really angers me, what men say. I know for a fact how many women try and have a conversation with their man to address a subject like that they're not happy with.
Yeah.
And because this man, not all men obviously, but this man doesn't want to be told or called out on his bullshit behaviour.
Yeah.
No, you're just crazy.
Yeah.
She's crazy. She's crazy. And then he goes out with his mates, he gets with someone else, and he's like, oh, I had to because she's crazy, she's doing my head in.
Yeah, just tell her to.
Do you know what?
Just
No,
allow
just
it.
man up, sort your relationship out, or just finish it and move on.
Yeah, just leave, innit?
I don't understand why. I just don't get it. Like,
It's mad. But then there's people that the person doesn't do anything wrong and they cheat anyway. And
yeah. Of course.
so my advice while I was driving home, I'm going down the M6 and I'm like, maybe I could have given more to that, because back to what I was saying before, people feel like they're in control of something until they're not in control,
Yeah,
and
of
that's
course.
when
And
they
that's a scary thing.
Yeah, that's when they realize. It's like when you're trying to stay awake.
When you're driving.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, like your eyes were fully closed and you think you can control it, and then the next thing you know, like you're asleep. So I was thinking, the one thing I'd say, if there's guys that you know, they've had this problem before, do not entertain it, right? So if a ting slides in the DMs, it does not matter whether she's a 10 out of 10, she's a 6 out of 10. And sometimes guys are mad because people like to they'll entertain it just to see where it goes, because sometimes I know a lot of guys do it, but girls do it as well. They'll
Girls
be
do
like,
it too.
they'll be like,
I've heard it all.
I just wanna see if I still got it.
Yeah,
right?
that's the one. Pride, ego.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You're letting that intervene with your relationship. Because you want to know you've still got it.
Yeah, it's mad.
No.
It's mad. So they'll entertain it, and just to give themselves a bit of a confidence boost.
Yeah.
And so it'll be a few messages here and there, and then before you know it, they're cheating. And it's like, if you could just cut it short, right? So I'm single right now, but I've been in situations when I had a chance to cheat and I didn't, and the reason I didn't is because I didn't entertain it. And let's say a girl slides in your DMs and she starts messaging you. By you not entertaining it, you either ignore her, or if you don't want to be that rude, you can just be like, look, you may not be coming across in that type of way, but I've got to tell you that I'm in a happier relationship, and it'd be disrespectful if I carried on replying to you. That's it. Because curiosity killed the cat.
But do you know what else though? Like, I'm the type of female, I'm not jealous. Like, I don't get jealous. I think if you start having those sorts of thoughts when you get with somebody, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, I don't agree with, you know how there's certain men, there's certain women who'll be like, no, you can't talk to them. You know, friends that they've had of the opposite sex for years.
Yeah.
Just friends though.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know me, I've always grown up with a lot more male friends. My best friends are all girls, but like, I've grown up with a lot of male friends because I've got 3 brothers and a lot of boy cousins as well. Not once does that mean that me and any of these boys have had anything, like these friends of mine.
Yeah.
But if I got with somebody now and he said to me, I don't want you talking to them, you're not going to stop me talking to my friends.
Yeah.
If you are paranoid enough to think, but I'm not going to, again, it's me and you though, isn't it? I suppose I know because of our morals, I don't need to be in a relationship. Like, that is not my be all and end all. And if I'm going to get with you, I'm certainly not going to entertain another man. Like, for me to give you the time of day in my busy schedule is not, I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's big, and I would not waste my time trying to entertain 2 men. Mate, it's hard work, like, being with one person, isn't it? And if you're going to really be with somebody, I just don't get it. And it's something that to me is unforgivable. I think a lot of things you can work on, not everything, but I think you can work on a lot of things, or try to. That would just be straight no. See ya. Bye.
Yeah, but back to it, like, if the opportunity is there for you to cheat and you don't want to cheat, because there's people that cheat and then they're angry with themselves because they fucked up, which is fair enough, but you were aware of what you were doing.
Yeah.
So what I'd say is, if the opportunity is there, turn the other way. Do the complete opposite of what you're desiring to do, because desire is fucking strong. So that's why I'm saying temptation's real, but what I'm saying is, don't feel like you're in as much control as you think you are.
And not only that though, everyone gets tempted, and everybody can fight that as well. Like, you know, just, it's mind over matter. Like, have a bit of, you know, self-control. Like, think about the person you could potentially be hurting, and if there's kids involved, think about your kids.
All I'm saying is, think about bad karma, because and I said it on the podcast, one of the reasons I don't and I won't cheat is because I know that if it happened to me, somebody's ass is getting beat, and I know that because I wouldn't want it done to me. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna do it to somebody else.
Yeah, let's be honest. Who wants that done to them?
Yeah,
And
so
that's what I don't get. Like, if you don't want it done to you, why do it to somebody else? But again, just, you know, and like when you see, when you hear that, like I hear it obviously from the females, like, oh, I've been with my boyfriend for this amount of time, and these girls keep messaging him, and they know he's with me. And I'm like, and is he messaging them back? And they're like, and they don't know what to say to me at this point, because they're like, they know if they say yeah, I go in. And I'm like, nah. And so many of my younger clients like, oh, I wish I was as strong as you, Fod. And it's like, babe, it's not that I'm strong. It's like, why tolerate some bullshit man or some bullshit
shit.
Boy? Like, or for you guys, like a female, because I think females aren't that great anymore either, a lot of them.
Girls are trash.
No, they're not all trash. There's more trashy boys, let's be honest.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's our generation, you know, even though there's 4 years difference with us, like,
I hear some fucking stories.
the girls my age that are single,
Yeah.
and like a bit older than you,
Yeah.
they're all right. Maybe your age and a bit younger, maybe not, I don't know. But my age, like my single girls, we're really good.
Nah, because
we are though. Young ones, I don't know.
No.
Then,
I'll tell you why. Because I had one of my regulars used to be a PT, and he told me PTs get it in, right? And he said to me, a lot of them are married women.
oh, I believe that.
Yeah, but when we're talking married women, we're talking women in their 40s as well. So where you're saying your age...
But I'm not 40.
No, but what I'm saying...
My single 30-year-old friends.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're saying about your age, and I'm telling you that's not true, because even women older than you lot are fucking doing it as well.
No, definitely. But like what I'm saying is, as in my single friends, like the girls I know that are single and struggling to meet a nice man and stuff.
I'm not saying it's everybody at every age, but what I'm saying is women are just as bad,
I agree,
if not worse, because the difference between men and women is men are stupid, right? So
there's a lot of stupid women. Come on.
Yeah, but women seem to be smarter at getting away with things than men. So
I don't know.
No, they're.
No, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Hang on. How many times do you hear a man cheats and the woman forgives him? How many times has that scenario happened?
Yeah,
like, you know, a lot more than if a woman cheats, the man stays.
Yeah, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is...
What he'll do is then he'll just go and cheat.
Yeah, but
just to try and even it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is... you'll hear less about women cheating because women get away with it better. Because women are smarter at getting away with things. So you might hear all these stories of men cheating and not as many from women, but that doesn't mean that the men do it a lot more.
No, definitely not. Like, I think it is all very equal. Like, I think things have really changed, haven't they? But yeah, I don't know. I think I love that meme. Did you see the meme I posted the other day?
What?
And it's gotta be true. I don't even think it's true, actually. I think it's even higher. It was something like, just Googled at what age men mentally mature, and it says 43. I'm out.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Like, I don't know, because I look at some of the older guys, maybe it's Greek men, I don't know. I look at some of them and I'm like, they ain't mature still, and they're old.
Nah, it's all guys, but then I don't think there's an average of 43, because I know that a lot of us...
It didn't say average, it just said 43.
Yeah, but
you
must be talking averages. But then there's a lot of us that are a long time away from 43. And
no, there is a few
got
that
our
are a bit
shit
more
together,
mature.
you know. So, but I don't know. Anyway, so tied into this kind of stuff, do you know of an actress called Emma Watson? I don't know if you've heard about this. This was in the news last week.
Yeah, what does she play in? It's all the films I don't watch.
Yeah, haven't you seen Harry Potter?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, yeah, we're not Harry Potter people.
We're not Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings fans, no.
In our family, no.
My mum likes it.
Oh, yeah, but she doesn't follow it.
No. But yeah, is it Harry?
Hermione.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I know who she is.
Okay, so...
Did she play Belle in Beauty and the Beast?
No idea. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So, she's turning 30. She's turning 30.
Okay.
And apparently, so in an interview, she said how she's still single, she hasn't got kids, she's not married, etc., etc. And she was like, I'm happy and I don't need to rush into it, which is fair enough. I mean, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, so am I.
But she was like, I'm happy being in this self-partnership.
Oh.
Right. Now,
I heard something about this the other
this
day, but I don't think it was
pisses me
her.
off. Self-fucking-partnership does not make any sense, right? A partnership is between two or more people. You can't have a self-partnership. Like, for anybody that doesn't know, if you open your own business, there's three options. There's a sole trader, which is you on your own. There's a limited company, or there's a partnership. So if I went to register my business as a partnership and they said to me, okay, who are the other people in the business? And I said, no, nobody, it's just me. They'd be like, well, it ain't a partnership, Rob. It's a sole trader.
Yeah, sole trader.
Right. So,
yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I heard it the other day, but I didn't think it was her that said it. I've seen it somewhere else.
There's no I in team, guys. It's just dumb, like.
But people will say anything now to get a bit of attention. She sat there going, I don't care that I'm single. I don't care that I'm not married. I don't care
You
that I haven't got
fucking
kids.
do
But
care.
You do care because you're coming out with shit like self-partnership. You're doing that for attention.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, you just should be happy being you on your own.
Look, at the end of the day,
self-partnership.
There ain't a problem about being single at any age.
No.
If you're content,
Yeah.
if you're content and whatever, like, at the end of the day, happiness is the main goal.
Exactly.
Success is not the main goal.
No, being happy. And do you know what? Being single is something I say to a lot of my young clients to try and do, because these young girls, bless them, like, they get into relationship after relationship, one after the other, for a couple of years, a year. They're all, like, a lot of the time they're mentally abused, like, you know, cheated on and all these things, and then they rush into another relationship, and I'm like, dude, why don't you try being single? Like, mate, it is great. And that is the exact reason why we don't tolerate bullshit, because we're content with ourselves.
Yeah.
And we know what we want, we know what we don't want, and also, if someone comes along and they're going to add value to my life, then great.
Yeah.
You need to add value to my life, because my life's decent.
Yeah.
I've got no complaints.
Yeah.
I am happy in my little world here, and you know what? I do what I want, and I'm cool. Like, I don't need a man to make me happy, and you don't need a woman to make you happy. Now, that would be great if we meet somebody, and like, it would be nice to meet the right person, but be single, work on you, work on your goals, work on your mental health.
Sure.
Like, I don't get how people can just jump into so many unhappy relationships because they just want a boyfriend or they just want a girlfriend.
Mad.
It's mad. And I would much rather be, I'm 33, I'm more than happy being single still, and knowing that when I meet somebody, if we're together and there's any bullshit, I'm gone.
For sure.
I don't need it, because I'm all right on my own. Like, I want to be with somebody to add value to my day, to add value to my life. And I also want to do that for them. But people just, it's not a bad thing being single, guys. Like, it's actually great. Less drama. Zero drama, in fact.
So, I feel like Emma Watson is deflecting the truth.
Yes.
Like, just own up to your shit. If you want to be in a relationship, yeah, just say, I want to be in a relationship. Say, do you know what? I would like at this stage of my life to find somebody and settle down. That's fine. But don't come up with no bullshit fucking phrases like self-partnership, which don't make any fucking sense at all, right? To just, like, deflect the truth and act like you're content in this little scenario that you've now made up.
Yeah, but have you... Mum was watching this Japanese program.
Yeah.
I don't know what channel it was on. It was a few weeks ago. And it was... I didn't catch it, but it was basically in Japan.
Yeah. Shout out to the Japanese, man. They're crazy. I love the Japanese.
Girls are marrying themselves.
What?
Yeah, they're having full on weddings and getting married to themselves because they
Emma
can't
Watson,
find a
is
man.
that you?
Like they can't.
Yeah, but
find
that
a man.
doesn't make sense.
But then there's all these single Japanese men and all these single Japanese women,
and everyone
they're all
marries
having
themselves.
yeah,
But that.
because they want the wedding. I literally
What
want
the
to smash my head
fuck?
against the wall.
That's a birthday party. Just wear a wedding dress at your birthday party. You can't
Yeah.
marry yourself.
They apparently can.
Fuck's sake. Oh my days.
Oh
Wow.
Wow.
So anybody that wants to marry themselves, go to Japan, guys.
that's the place to do it.
Fucking
I don't know
hell.
the name of the program, but Mum was like, "Whoa." I was like, "Wow, is that what they do now?"
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not anything I'm into, so each to their own. Yeah, but all I'm saying about that is just own up to your shit. Be honest with yourselves. Stop trying to cushion your own
And
feelings.
do you know what else I think? Like they say, speak it into existence, man. If you want it, if you want to meet the man of your dreams and get married, do you know what? I hold my hands up. I would love to meet a great guy and settle down, but I'm also okay with it, with how I am now. I don't need to go looking for it, but I will happily say, like, yeah, I do want to get married one day.
Yeah.
But I'm happy being single
Yeah,
too. I'm
yeah.
not going to act like,
Yeah, I ain't
you know,
begging it.
no, no, because I'm happy. So if you're happy, it's all good. But if you're gonna say things like you're in a self partnership and act like you don't want somebody because you're too good with yourself, like, I
Or
don't
you
get it.
married yourself. Get the
You
fuck out of here.
Hang on, so right, when these people meet someone, do
Jesus.
they have to divorce themselves to get married?
Ah.
What happens?
It doesn't make it.
It makes zero sense.
I can't have a discussion about this because it defies logic.
Do you know what? You need to go and watch one of these programs. We need to both
I'll
watch it,
fucking
and then you can
stab
discuss it on
myself
your
in the
next.
eye.
No, you can discuss it on your next podcast.
Jeez. Right, before
That's
we
one for
wrap
Father Stephen.
before we wrap up, if you could be anything job wise, what would it be?
Anything.
Yeah. It could
Do you
be
know what?
mad, it don't matter.
It's really weird because, like, as in, click my fingers and I am that job role.
Pretty much.
I think I would quite like to be a surgeon.
Okay.
Just because obviously I've been through surgery, so like I think what put me off with ever doing something like that, I didn't want to go to uni then. I was like, nah, I don't want to do
Yeah, okay,
education.
yeah. So I always
for
say
now,
if
for
you
now,
could
if
just
there was
be
just
anything.
click my fingers and be anything,
Yeah.
like maybe a surgeon. Like, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, work for hours on somebody and
What, do like anything?
no, maybe do what I had done, because like I think obviously because that sits with me,
Right.
like that's important to me, and to know that I was in surgery for 9 hours and have and do that for somebody, like he changed my life.
Yeah.
And I think if you think, like, imagine how much went into that for him, like mentally,
Yeah.
mental preparation, the exhaustion,
Yeah.
like it's mad. And like, I don't know, I think that would be something super rewarding. Like,
Okay.
surgeon, fix people,
That's
make people
interesting.
better. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make people feel better. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that no one's given me the same answer yet.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Okay. Advice to 18-year-old you.
18-year-old me. Let me think.
Don't think for too long.
Don't think too long, sorry. I would just say, manage your money better. That is me. Like,
There you go.
just rein it in a little bit. Rein it in a little bit. Like, yeah, that's probably my advice to me
Well,
at
that's
18.
good, it's good
Yeah.
advice.
Let's be honest, that is the one.
Okay, so this is my new question that I'm going to start asking people.
Oh, am I
So-
the first one you're going to ask?
Yeah. And I've been debating this question with myself for
no.
years on end.
Okay.
If you
Oh, no.
if you were a professional fighter, what would your entrance theme be? No, you can't take too long because I've got loads of different answers, but you just give me one.
Hang on. See, can I play you the song? 'Cause I don't know the name of it.
No.
I don't know the name of it.
What? All right.
No, hang on. I don't know.
If you can quickly find it, put it to the microphone.
Oh. Why did you not warn me about this?
No, because I'm not meant to warn you.
I'm never going to find it.
Don't be long about it.
Shush, I don't know what it is.
So I think this is
Hang on.
You got it.
It's the Don Omar one. The one that we always say we want to fight to.
Don't put it too close to the microphone. Oh, Safari.
No.
Oh, it's not Safari. It's on.
That's J Balvin.
Yeah, sorry.
Gaia.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We don't even know what it means, but we feel like it's a song that would.
Yeah, I definitely punch people in the face with this.
Yeah. And then actually, didn't me and Laz. Hang on.
Right.
Me and Laz googled the lyrics, and they're actually really aggressive lyrics.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it sounds like it's really aggressive.
We're about to get interrupted.
Yeah, we are.
Anyway, that was all for now.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys. Follow us. I'll have the Instagram links on the description, and they might be here somewhere as well. Please subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Follow us. Like the page, share it.
Can I just interrupt you? If it's all right, could I share some links about the mentoring? Maybe if there's anyone interested in mentoring kids in care. I think it's all over the UK now. So if you could share it on your YouTube page.
I'll put it on the they'll be on the YouTube description link.
And Bang can always sort of like tag me in these things anyway. So if anybody wants to ask me any questions about it, I'd love to like get people on the ball the ball rolling and get people involved because we need more volunteers.
Wicked.
Thank you.
I'll put her Instagram on the YouTube link, so if anybody wants to contact you directly, they can.
Thanks.
And the mentoring links will be on the YouTube link as well.
Yep.
Guys, if you've got any topics that you want to suggest, or you've got any guests that you want to suggest, send me a message and we can discuss. Right. Fodoulla Nicolaou in the chair with the barber. My name's Nicolaou. Stay tuned and you'll see me soon. Yassas.
Bye.